Hey guys, welcome back to Karting with Chris. Today's video is going to be the last chance qualifier here at Dallas Karting Complex. So we're going to start off with some qualifying here, and I know what you're thinking. Chris, you've already ruined this qualifying session for us. We already know you're going to be in the last chance qualifier. And that's true, but I want to kind of show you why I'm in the last chance qualifier. So coming out of the pits here, we passed the guy who was in front of us, weaving a little too much for me, so just want to get ahead of him. Don't want him slowing me down. Going down the straights here, you can see kart is pulling a bit to the right when I let go of the steering wheel, so that is something we have to keep in mind. Kart 16 lunges us going through the first right-hander. Not too worried about that. Again, it's qualifying, so you don't really want to be fighting with anyone. So if someone wants to pass me and they're faster than me, I'll gladly let them in front of me. Maybe they can teach me a thing or two. But looking further ahead, we can see someone is off into the dirt. They probably thought this was some sort of dirt oval or rally stage, and so they decided to do their joker lap. But I assure you, there are no joker laps at Dallas Karting Complex. But we do get passed by kart number 21, the man who's weaving like a madman coming out of the pits. Clearly, those tire warming skills paying dividends for him. So for those of you who don't know, this is technically my second race here at Dallas Karting Complex. I've been here one other time, and it was about 4 months ago, and that race was a wet race. So we were about 30 seconds slower than we are today. So that race didn't really teach me very much about this track or the karts. It kind of just taught me that when there's no grip, people tend to spin a lot. So for this qualifying session, like I said, I'm just trying to relearn the track, trying to find out what a fast lap time is. Whenever you're going to a track for the first time and you've never been around there and you're trying to learn it, one thing I like to do is try and get behind a fast person, try and see what their lines are and try and compare them. Obviously, it'll be hard to keep up with them because they're a fast person. If you do catch up to someone, I wouldn't really take their lines because you're obviously going quicker than them. So one thing I noticed about my kart is that the acceleration coming out of these slower corners was really not that great. I made a lot of noise, but it really didn't go anywhere. And so it sounds like clutch to me. I don't know the ins and outs of these karts, but definitely sounds like clutch to me. As going down the straight here, my friend Nick in kart number 2 passes me like I'm standing still. I assure you, I did not roll off the throttle there. He passed me based off of pure speed. And so this is kind of telling me that either I screwed up that corner back there or my kart does not have very good acceleration. You see, going down the straights here, I kind of put up my hand. He's pulling away from me pretty easily. Again, coming out of the corners, you can see they're just gapping me. Not a lot I can do. So I know I don't have a very fast kart for this qualifying session. I can clearly see down the straights that people are faster than me. So I'm going to try and make up the time through the corners. I noticed that a lot of people were overshooting the corners and spinning out through the corners. So that's going to be basically my plan for the rest of this qualifying session. But up ahead, we can see there's a large group of people passing each other. And actually going through this right-hander, I lunged number 5. I didn't actually mean to go for that move. It's just I caught up to him very quickly. The space was there, so instead of ramming into the back of him, we just go for the overtake. Now, you definitely don't want to be overtaking people in qualifying. That's definitely going to slow you down. That's actually why I've caught up to this group of 4 or 5, because they've been overtaking each other so much. And this is actually kind of worrying because I don't want to be caught up in their overtaking. Fortunately, this was the last lap. Unfortunately, at DKC, for qualifying, they wave the checker flag right here on the straight, and the timing beacon is actually after this last corner on the right up ahead. So you kind of waste the lap, and they don't really tell you what lap is the last lap. So you could be on one hell of a lap and just completely get it taken away because you don't cross the timing beacon. Now everyone's in the same condition here, but again, it's kind of frustrating. Alright, so we move ahead to the last chance qualifier. Like I said, we didn't have the best kart in the world. And unfortunately, for this last chance qualifier, we have the exact same kart we had in qualifying. So I don't know who's in charge of assigning karts, but clearly not a Karting with Chris fan. But for this race, we're starting in 7th out of 30 people. Yes, there are 30 people in this last chance qualifier. So for those of you who don't know what a last chance qualifier is, I'll explain it to you guys. For those of you who do know what it is, you can skip past this. This will not be new information for you guys. So at DKC, if they have more than 25 drivers registered for a class, this is the lights class by the way, they will have a last chance qualifier. So to make it into the last chance qualifier is not a good thing. You don't want to be in the last chance qualifier, but the reason I'm in the last chance qualifier is because my qualifying lap time was not good enough. So there were 50 people here today, which is a sold out league race. So there were 50 people in my class alone, and they take the top 20 to the pre-final. The rest of us, all 30 of us, go to the last chance qualifier. Now here in the last chance qualifier, or LCQ for short, you try and get into the top 5 because the top 5 of the LCQ make it to the final. If you made it to the pre-final, you make it to the final no matter what. But if you're in the LCQ, you have to make it into the top 5 to advance to the final. If you didn't make it in the top 5, if you're 6th or lower, then you're done for the day, pack your things and go home. So right here we all come to a stop. Someone, I think, stalled their cart on track, so we're just gonna be here for a little bit. I'll skip past this. So I've never done an LCQ before, so I don't really know what the type of drivers here are going to be. Obviously they're the slowest drivers, and I'm one of them. So I don't know what the kind of talent and kind of carnage I'm going to expect. Basically what I've heard is that once the people in the top 5 get into the top 5, they tend to work together and just try and guarantee their top 5, which is smart. So for this race, I'm starting in 7th. Like I said at the beginning, I'm in the same cart as qualifying, so I don't know if I have the best cart in the world. But we're starting in 7th. We only have to gain 2 positions, so if we can gain 2 positions and then just defend like crazy for the rest of the race, then we have a shot at finishing in the final. So we're rounding out the last corner here, and we're going to leave a bit of a gap to the cart in front, cart number 21. We want a bit of a slingshot effect. And so flagman waves green, we're good to go. And to my surprise, everyone on the inside left the inside wide open. So we're going to take the inside, make sure we don't get pushed out wide. We gained 1 position. We didn't have the best momentum coming out of the corner, but going through this right-hander up ahead, I do go slightly defensive. I get a lot of understeer, and so cart 18 passes me going through the corner, and so we're back down into 7th place here. Going through this left-hander up ahead, cart 18 kind of misses the apex and goes out a little wide, and so we're going to go side by side, but you can see he's got a little bit more acceleration coming out of the corners here, so I'm just going to slot in behind him. And so we can see going through this left-right, some people are going offline. That's definitely going to slow them down. And cart 18, he must have been a Karting with Chris fan because he points me by. I mean, you're trying to get into the top 5 here. He just points me by, so top-notch lad. And cart 32 goes sideways as well, so that was a 2-for-1 deal. We're up into 5th place now, so we're at the bare minimum already, and it's only been lap 1. And we see that cart number 6 gets a little bit of oversteer going through the left-hander back there. So we're going to go side by side through these next couple of corners. Through the long right-hander, he does have the inside, but when track conditions are like this, it matters more about corner exit than corner entry. And you're going to see I'm going to get a little bit more momentum coming out of the corner. So we're going to get right up behind him. I am going to actually push him down the straight here. We're in 5th. You know, I don't want to fight with 5th or 4th because I don't want to lose 5th. But going through the last corner here, he decides to do some track maintenance, align the barriers. Really proud of him. You know, it's not easy doing track maintenance during a race, but cart number 6 found a way. So we're in 4th place now. Only the top 5 advance, so we have room for error. We could still lose a place and still advance to the final. Obviously, we don't want to lose a place. We want to put our head down and put down the qualifying laps because if someone's faster is catching up, you don't want to be stuck behind someone. And one thing I noticed is that this is the same cart I had for qualifying, but for some reason the bottom end felt so much better. So I don't know if the officials looked at this cart or I just changed my driving style, but coming out of the corners, you're going to see that people aren't going to be pulling away from me. I'm going to be keeping up with them. So this is kind of fortunate for me that my cart isn't crap now, and it's also giving me more confidence for the rest of this race. So we can see that we've caught up to 3rd place pretty quickly. I think at the start of this lap, he might have had a 3-second gap on me, and we've caught up to him pretty quickly. I think he made a mistake, so we don't want to be stuck behind anyone who makes mistakes because the people from behind could catch up to us and pass us. We are in 5th, or in the top 4, and only the top 5 advance, so we do have some room for error, but like I said, we don't want to have any regrets because there could be faster people behind us trying to catch up to us. So we want to pass this guy as fast as possible. He's making mistakes. I feel like we're a little bit faster. So going down the straight here, I get a pretty good exit. And you can see down the straight, he looks at us. I was looking for the move, but I think he just had more top end than me, and so we weren't able to get the move through there, so we're gonna have to try through another corner. But now he knows I'm here, and so hopefully we can force him into a mistake. People tend to make mistakes when they know someone's behind them. And so coming out of this left-hander, he does go wide on the exit, and so I tried looking for the move, but the thing about this track is that since there's not a lot of grip, whenever someone makes a mistake, it's very hard to go around them, especially when it's last minute. So coming out of this exit here, thought about the outside, but I knew he was going to run me off track, so I backed off. And then going through this right-hander right here, a little bit of contact, not intentional. He's just going a little slower than I do. Going side by side through this left-hander. So I'm going to look for the cutback, but on the outside there was just no grip whatsoever, and you see just the amount of understeer I get, so didn't really work out. So I'm trying everything to get past this guy, going through this right-hander up here. A poke and nose through, wasn't enough beside him, so it wouldn't really been a clean move, but definitely all over this guy, trying to force him into a mistake. He is making minor mistakes, but like I said, when someone does make a mistake around here, it's kind of hard to pass them, because if you're too close, you're just going to run into the back of him. So we can see the flagman is waving halfway through the race, so there's not a lot of laps left in this race. It is a 6-lap LCQ, and the guy in 5th is pretty far behind us, so we don't have to worry about him. And even if he did pass us, we would still advance. So we can focus all of our time and energy on kart number 14 here. Coming out of the right-hander, I get a decent exit, but he looks behind him. He knows I'm here, so I should just say, screw it. I'm going to go for the move. And he performs the most perfect cutback on me and passes me back. So we were in 3rd temporarily, and now he's in 3rd, so not a lot I can do. Definitely could have passed him a little better there. So we're just going to have to try again going through this next right-hander. He does get a little sideways, and so we do have enough momentum to look for the move. And this time, we're going to park it on the apex, make sure he can't get that cut back, and that's how we moved up into 3rd place. So now we're looking behind us, making sure that he's not going to go for the instant reply on us, and I didn't feel like he was going to, and fortunately, he didn't. So at this point, we're in 3rd. The top 2 are way in front of us, but we do have clear track. So now we're just going to try and pull away from 4th as fast as possible and just try and finish this race. Try and keep it clean, don't go off track, don't make any mistakes, and we should be able to finish in 3rd place. So we fast forward to the end of this lap, start of the second to last lap, and we can see we've caught up to a back marker here. Now sometimes back markers can be unpredictable. I'm not judging this guy specifically, I'm just judging based off of personal experience. So the last thing we want is a back marker to push us off track or spin us out and us lose our final entry. So we're in 3rd, we don't want to lose this. We want to pass the back markers with caution, but also at the same time, it does make for good passing practice. We are going to be starting in last in the final, and we're going to have to pass a lot of people if we want to make any decent positions. So this is going to be good passing practice. Going down the straight here, back marker kind of cuts me off, but he's just avoiding the other person. We do pass 2 people in one corner. I've noticed I pass a lot of people through this corner, so you can call it the Karting with Chris corner if you'd like to. But unfortunately, none of them are the people in 1st or 2nd, so we didn't gain any positions, but we did gain experience. Now with our XP at an all-time high, we skip ahead to the end of this lap. We see there's a yellow flag, and there's going to be a corner worker up here who pushes a cart basically right in front of me. Fortunately, that cart goes into the pits, but at the time, I slammed on my brakes because I thought they were going to go right in front of me. And that was really frustrating. You can clearly see I'm frustrated here. Very dangerous because there was a large gap behind me, so you could have at least waited for me to pass and then let them rejoin. But fortunately, they went into the pits, so it's all good. So we've caught up to kart number 26. Unfortunately, this is another back marker, so it's not for a position, but again, it's good passing practice, so we're racking up those XP points. We're going to reach level 74 anytime soon now. So we can see that the top 2 are way ahead of us. We are on the last lap, so we're not going to catch up to them on this lap. They were working together, so it was going to be hard to catch up to them based off of pure pace as well. So we're going to skip it to the end of this lap. We're going to take the checkered flag. We're going to finish in 3rd place. Now, on this cooldown lap, we're going to see a corner worker doing some more dangerous things, and I'm just going to let you listen to the audio.
Oh, what are you doing, man? What is up with these fucking corner workers? Unbelievable.
So yet another corner worker living life on the edge. I guess that's how these young kids get their kicks. I was clearly very frustrated about this whole scenario. I mean, it happened to me multiple times within basically one lap. So a little frustrated, but I'm over it now. I guess I'm just a stickler for safety. So that is going to be the end of the race. We did start in 7th. We jumped up into 3rd as we see someone doing their Tokyo Drift impersonation. I give it a 6 out of 10. Not that great. Needs improvement. But like I said, we started in 7th, moved up into 3rd. Not too bad. 3rd out of 30. I'll take it. But for the final, that means we're going to be starting in 23rd out of 25 people. So for the final, we'll definitely have a tall order to tackle. But that's all I'm going to have for today. If you like the video, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, please do comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.